Guys, welcome back to the channel. Now, today we're going to be talking about how to build discipline. Ultimately, the thing that controls how far you get, bro. And so, what I've noticed in my journey in the past 4.5 years, there's definitely been the buildup of discipline, but it's came in multiple different ways. Meaning there's so many different ways you can build discipline, but all of them coming together is what really took me to the next level. And that's exactly what I'm going to be explaining. Like, once you understand that if you get discipline from this, if you get discipline from this, and then you get it from this, now you have like all three forms of discipline, dude, you're basically on such another level compared to other people's work ethic and like what they think is hard work and working, that you're unstoppable, bro. Like, you literally are so much farther ahead just because your discipline and your work ethic has gone up so much that they couldn't even catch up if they tried because you're years ahead. So how did I do this? Three main ways, okay? The first reason I'm going to talk about is pain. Guys, there's no other way for me to put it except for the fact that when you're driven by pain, like I was down bad, guys. Like, the best way for me to put it is, like, I was just down bad. I just had a lot of pain, and that's what forced me to move. Like, say like I'm sitting on a fucking fire right now. My ass is on fire. I had to move. Meaning, the discipline built from pain was literally just that. Like, it wasn't I did some hack to start disciplining myself. It was like, no, bro, I was just in a position where I was filled with so much pain that by nature I started doing all of these things on a daily basis. If you've watched my other videos, you understand I started a 90-day blitz, which was 3 months of sticking in like 5 rules every single day. That happened because of all the pain built up. That didn't happen, like I said, where I did some, like, how to discipline myself. No, that happened from pain. You get to a certain point where you just can't take the stupid shit anymore, and you realize things that it just forces you to now consistently do things on a daily basis because you understand that that's what you must do, regardless of the matter, of the fact, whatever it is. So that's the first way. Okay, discipline fueled by pain. That's by far the number one reason that made me move and become a disciplined person. The second reason on how to become disciplined is going to be, I started rewarding myself with small wins, and small relief points. Meaning, when I disciplined myself on a micro level, I would reward myself on a micro level. So if you're wondering what I mean by that, for example, I said to myself, okay, if I get all of these things done today and I go to the gym and work my ass off, I deserve some kind of cheat meal or dessert. And what that did was basically encourage the action of discipline. Right? And so in that, it's almost like, yes, I'm still forced to do this thing, but now it's almost like I have just some more of a reasoning, for example, to go to the gym, because then I understand I can reward myself later. So that's the second part. It's like, you want to have small goals, bro. If you have, understand, okay, that when it comes to building discipline, and starting to do things regardless of how you feel or whatever it is, guys, it's very hard to do that when you're starting from ground zero. What I mean is, like, if you're doing nothing right now, okay, you're doing nothing, you're out of shape, you're not going to the gym, you're playing video games, you're not working. Dude, to all of a sudden expect yourself to do like a 360 is, honestly, it's just retarded. I don't want to use the word unrealistic, but there's a word people use, and it's called cold turkey. Okay, and what I did is cold turkey, but I understand that that is very fucking hard. Like, what you want to do is slowly build up, and this happened to me as well. I did a cold turkey to the point where I literally changed my life the day I decided to do all this. But as time went on, then it increased. But what you're gonna want to do, if you can't cold turkey like I did, is have this slow build up of discipline and small wins, because it's so hard to just all of a sudden. I take the example, like, if you wanted to start getting in shape and start going to the gym and start changing your lifestyle as far as diet, workouts, all of this, okay? It's going to be very hard to implement all three of those things day one. Instead, what I tell everybody to do is, like, dude, first things first, let's just try to get you into the gym. That's it. Let's just try to get you consistent on going to the gym I mean, I say every single day, but for example, for yourself, like, if you're, like I said, at the bottom and you're not disciplined at all, just try to prove to yourself on a smaller scale. So see if you can go to the gym 3 times a week for 2-3 months long, right? And then on top of that, after those 3 months, now add something on top. For example, now you're going to try to start eating cleaner, or now you're going to try to start eliminating soda from your diet. And that's how it happens, to the point where now you're, instead of just trying to fucking 360, right? You go from eating junk food and not hitting the gym and you're playing videos to just cutting everything. I see. Yeah. Well, I shouldn't be here. Maybe 20 minutes. I was saying, it's so hard to make such a significant change. You'll have a lot better results and easing into everything if you just slowly start to stack, right? So first thing is now start to stack on a small basis. Start small and then go big, and it'll become easier and easier, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, as you're progressing through your journey, you now have built like this fucking list of 10 things that you've disciplined yourself to and that you do on a daily basis, where people are looking at you like, how the fuck is this guy doing all of that? Right? And it's like, dude, it's because you started here and then you just started stacking all of these small wins and started adding things in and adjusting as you went. And so that's the other way. It's by starting small with the small disciplines and then stacking to the point where now you have so much discipline because you've just started implementing. And the thing a lot of people don't realize is, dude, you become addicted to winning and like stacking and seeing progression. Like with the gym in specific, guys, I don't want you to think this video is about the gym. These are just examples because they're very easy to correlate to the gym. Like with the gym, dude, when you start seeing progress, it's like by nature you want to see more progress. And so by default, you then don't even want to eat unhealthy anymore, because the more unhealthy you eat, the worse you feel. The more unhealthy you eat cuts back on your progress, because now you won't lose weight, for example, or build as much muscle. And so it's like this, really, you start to hit this momentum train, which leads to more discipline, and like it just stacks in your favor. And it's all because you started here and now all of a sudden it's gotten to here. So that's the second way, okay? You start small. Grab a drink. As I'm a professional yapper, you know, I gotta keep my throat nice and lubricated. Pause. Now, moving on to pretty much the third way on building discipline and relating this to the other two. It's like, guys, once you implement all of this stuff, okay, you get to a point where you just start, like, it's almost like a huge self-realization, accountability. You're almost like taking a step back, and in you taking a step back and analyzing everything, because life is moving so fast, people are always so caught up in everything, you know, life happens, nobody really ever gets to just sit there and analyze. And this is like by far one of the most important things you can do, bro, because nobody's going to analyze you for you, right? A lot of people do. They judge you, but you don't even fucking judge yourself because you don't know yourself. And people aren't going to tell you. I don't tell people. When I see somebody that's a dumbass, I just know he's a dumbass. I'm not going to tell him he's a dumbass unless he's my friend, right? But what I'm getting at is in analyzing yourself, really just sitting there and thinking about everything, right? If you're barely starting, or if you've gotten to a place now where you're on this momentum train and you no longer are like going out on the weekends, and that advantage just keeps getting wider and wider and wider as you start working on the weekends, the late nights, the early mornings and all this stuff. It's like, dude, in you taking that step back, thinking about all this, knowing exactly what you want, where you want to get to, planning your shit out, just hitting the small wins, stacking and stacking and stacking. It's like, dude, you get to a fucking point where you literally are just disciplined as a person in entirety, because now you've analyzed yourself. You've not even yourself at this point. You've analyzed the whole world and how things work and how other people function, and you're starting to see the outcomes of other people's results in their life, and you realize, oh shit, it's because he does that. It's exactly why he is, and then you don't want to be like that. And they're like, in you taking a simple step back and analyzing, it can help you become more disciplined, because it's almost like that self-realization really starts to hit. And that's how you can become more disciplined. And all of these correlate to each other, and all of these build up to you becoming just a more developed person and a more disciplined person as time goes on. But if there's the one thing out of this whole video that I can say to you, is once you are done, just start with the small disciplines. And I promise you, as you stack them and stack them, you will become a disciplined person as a whole. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. As always, shameless plug, if you want to work with me, you can apply to do so down below on building a personal brand, on getting in shape, losing weight, gaining muscle, all that good stuff. Guys, check out my Instagram before you apply to work with me, or check out my free training before you apply to work with me. Do some of your own research before you just dive straight into wanting to work with me. And like I was saying, and understanding that it's going to cost you money, and you should have a little bit of background information on who I am besides just watching this video. Like, do your due diligences. So, boys, as always, thank you for watching this video. It's been a pleasure. Hopefully you gained some valuable information. Look out for the next one, and I will see you guys soon.